The quality of your business, your marriage, and your leadership is directly connected to the quality of your conversations. Looking back over the last 10 years, the biggest breakthroughs in my life didn't come from another book, another strategy, or even another podcast. They came from one conversation. Today, I want to share the 5 conversations that changed my life and the one you're probably avoiding right now. As entrepreneurs, business owners, and leaders, we're taught to solve problems, put out the fires every single day, move fast, and keep pushing forward. But I've learned that growth usually starts when we're willing to slow down just long enough to have the conversation we've been avoiding. These 5 conversations have shaped my business, my marriage, my faith, and my leadership. Part 1, which is conversation with yourself. Early years in building the insurance company, the first year I was sleeping underneath my desk. I was having migraines, now reflecting back from stress, anxiety, not eating correctly, sleepless nights, all the things that come with building a business and leading people. And I found myself constantly asking, can I really do this? Am I really cut out to do this? Nobody in my family is an entrepreneur. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't have somebody that is with me every single minute to show me what to do, how to do it, when to do it, what to do it. So I kept asking myself, can I really do this? And the point that I had learned was the stories we tell ourselves become the limits we live within. So what story are you believing about yourself today? Number 2, question conversations with your spouse. This has been a game changer for me and my marriage. Every Sunday, we have implemented, me and my wife, having a 90-minute coffee date. And in that coffee date, we have these intentional weekly conversations that not only have been a game changer in our marriage, and it has allowed us to explore a deeper emotional connection on what really serves the other individual. There's no perfect individual. And what I've learned is by meeting these individuals and growing with my wife has been the biggest hack, because it's not another productivity hack. It's not another strategy. It's really meeting her where she's at and having these weekly conversations with her. And one of the questions that I would ask was, how can I support you this week? What worked well for you last week? What did I do well? What did I do poorly? What is 3 successes that you had this week? What are 3 lows that you had this week? And what I have found that it allows me to actively listen in that moment to what she shares with me so that she can be seen and valued. And then by reflecting on the next week and what we want that to look like, by making the tweaks and the adjustments, has been the biggest game changer. So when was the last time you asked your spouse, how can I support you this week? Conversation number 3 is with a mentor. About 4 years ago, I sat down in a coffee shop, and in this conversation, it was the first time in a long time, if ever, I was right around 33, 34 years of age, I had been vulnerable. And I had asked him, I said, this is what I'm going through in my business. I feel stuck, overwhelmed, frustrated, and unfulfilled. And the question that he had asked me that I had never asked myself or nobody had ever asked me was, have you ever thought about hiring a business coach? And it's such a simple question, but it's a question. It's the quality of the question. And what I had learned by reflecting back is great mentors don't tell you what to do. They help you see what you can't see. And in that moment, when this individual asked me if I had ever hired a business coach, in 33 years of my life, I didn't even know business coaches existed. I didn't even know what that looked like. That's why I went home, typed it in Google before ChatGPT, and it pulled up 3 business coaches here locally in Montgomery County. I would probably not be on this podcast today talking to you if it wasn't for that profound question of hiring a business coach. Great mentors don't tell you what they do. They help you see what you can't see. Question number 4, conversation with your team. For my insurance company, there has been dozens of conversation. For Level Up and Live Mastermind Group, dozens, if not hundreds of conversation. And one of the things that I have learned is when you avoid those difficult conversations with your employees, partner, managers, it creates confusion. On the flip side of that, honest conversations with kindness, humility, and love builds trust and culture. And it's uncomfortable. You may get the sweaty palms. You may want to avoid the conversations. You may not want to stare down. It's easier, it's more comfortable not to have those hard conversations. But for things to change, we have to change. And we have to lead by example. So having those hard conversations. One of my leaders at Level Up and Live, this was earlier in the year of 2026, as this recording is July of 2026, about 3 or 4 months ago, we were having some hiccups with commitment and showing up. I had 2 choices. One, I could have continued to allow that to happen within this leadership team, and it would have continued to happen. Or I could have prepared my heart by slowing things down, praying about it, meditating on it, asking God to open up my heart to have this hard conversation, scheduling a time, scheduling a place. And in this case, I was walking. I was outside. The sun was beaming down. It wasn't in an office. There's different appropriate places to have these conversations. But for me, it was outside in the sun, meeting this person with kindness, humility, and love. And reflecting back and the feedback that I received in just this simple, hard conversation was that he felt seen and valued, like I was meeting him where he was. So in turn, it empowered him to want to commit, to show up by meeting him in where he was in his current life. Yes, it was an uncomfortable conversation. Yes, it was a challenging conversation, but it was a hard conversation that led to that next level of getting that commitment and consistency in showing up. Conversation number 5 is with the one and only God. Now, I'm not talking about praying for success or praying for outcomes. I mean, you can do that, but I want to pray for wisdom. I want to talk to God. I want God to open up my heart in conversating with people, in texting people, in emailing people, and phone calls, coffees, whoever I'm speaking with. Before I want to pray for wisdom, for guidance, for kindness, humility, and love and kindness. Because human nature, for me at least, is not human nature for me. So I have to open up my heart to be willing and able for God to come in and work through me in the people that I lead. And I do this on a daily, sometimes hourly basis. Prayed before this podcast, in making sure that I say the right words, I communicate effectively, where it can be heard, seen, and valued in the words of God. Leadership becomes lighter when you're not trying to carry everything alone. Before I had my relationship with Jesus, my Lord and Savior, I would try to carry everything, and it was exhausting. Yes, I had the energy. Yes, I worked out. Yes, I exercised. Yes, I had the right foods. But when you try to carry everything, and when you have the responsibility and the obligations and the duty for the people that you lead, your family, your spouse, your kids, man, leadership becomes so much lighter when you're not trying to carry that alone and you have that relationship with my Lord and Savior to be able to walk through that with him. One conversation can change a marriage. One conversation can change a business, like it did for me. One conversation can change a life. So here's my challenge. Which conversation have you been avoiding? Schedule it this week. Don't wait until circumstances force it. If this episode encouraged you, share it with another business owner, a leader. And if you've been looking for the room where these conversations happen every single week, we'd love to have you experience Level Up and Live as our guest. Appreciate you guys being here. Keep leveling up.